For today's cup of coffee, it's always a surprise, shock, astonishment every time. He's making pterodactyl noises
that
today.
Ain't pterodactyl noises. That's just distress. That's
we were
just
talking
distress.
about dental procedures was what it was. Both of us were kind of freaked out over that. It would freak anybody out.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with today's cup of coffee, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And if you're wondering what is in the little cauldron over there, it's biscotti.
Biscotti.
It is biscotti.
Biscotti, not viscotti. It's viscous.
It's biscotti.
Because it's a biscuit.
It's
not
baked,
viscous.
It's double baked
it's
cookie
biscuits.
that you dip in your coffee.
You're missing it.
I am. I'm trying to ignore it is what I'm trying to do. For today's subject and cup of coffee, from the Daily Mail by Alex Hammer. Now that's a cool last name. Hammer. Wouldn't you have named him Thor?
Yeah, I guess so.
That would have been... And this was from August the 1st, 2022, and is entitled Massachusetts Axes Last Remaining Salem Witch Trial Conviction of Mentally Ill Woman, 22, who pleaded guilty in 1692 after 8th grade teacher in her class campaigned to clear victims' names. Daily Mail, honey, that's not a headline, that's a paragraph.
Yeah.
Now this is one of the problems.
Oh God, this is 3 pages.
This is one of the problems that I have with articles from there. They will have the same thing about 4 times in each article.
This is why I'm like, oh God, it's 3 pages of the same shit.
And that's what I was. No, it's really not, because I've edited heavily on a lot of this. See this? There's lots of things marked out.
Okay.
I don't know if they've got a word count.
They more than likely do. So they're just...
And it's like, cut to the chase. This is why, and people's like, people don't read anymore. No, I mean, what's the point? After reading that title, that pretty much tells you a lot of the things that was going on.
Right.
And it says that the final outstanding conviction in the Salem witchcraft trials has finally been axed 329 years. He could have used a different word. By an 8th grade teacher in her class when they fought to clear the persecuted woman's name. And Elizabeth Johnson Jr.'s, which is unusual because women are not usually juniors.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's up with that. Exoneration came on July the 28th, centuries on from the 1692 conviction, which saw 22-year-old Johnson nearly put to death after she admitted practicing witchcraft. The judgment, which was part of a $53 billion state budget.
Really?
Signed by Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker. That has nothing to do with this, but it's interesting.
Oh my God.
They cleared Johnson, a woman who likely had a mental disability but never married or had children, when she was accused in 1692. Okay.
Great.
So there's twice within the 2 paragraphs that he has mentioned 1692. It says, none of the women who admitted witchcraft were ultimately put to death, although all 20 who denied it were.
What?
Yes.
What does that... They just wanted to kill people.
It's the same thing today. It is the same thing today. Take this plea deal, or if you go to trial, we'll give you more time.
Yeah.
So, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And it says that Johnson Jr. was spared and went on to die in 1747 at the age of 77, with her name seemingly forever smeared by the witchcraft conviction. Because you know people talk.
Yeah.
It says her exoneration served as the culmination of a 3-year effort by civics teacher Carrie LaPierre and students in North Andover Middle who relentlessly campaigned to exonerate Johnson. Aided by a state senator who helped champion the cause, The movement was ultimately successful, with officials deciding to pardon Johnson, who was given a reprieve from death after being forced to plead guilty during the infamous trials.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And LaPierre stated, quote, "I'm excited and relieved." Okay. Well, this was what it is. She was basically teaching the kids civics.
Yeah.
And about how that you can petition the government for different things.
Okay.
I don't know why it took so long to do this. And she said it had been a huge project, and the effort began early last year, and that class had already gone on, so they didn't get to be. And then the class that came behind them took up the effort. And it says that they had noticed that for whatever reason that dozens of the men and women found guilty by the Salem city officials that were later exonerated, that Johnson's was not.
The fuck?
Well, and it says that there is a gentleman that his name is Richard Height, that is from Rhode Island, and he was discussing this case with another teacher, and LaPierre overheard it. And so they began talking about the case, and she realized that due to Height's being from another state, that he was barred from filing legislation that could appeal Johnson's case. So Height then offered her the chance to take up the case, to which the teacher, without hesitation, accepted. She then shared the story with the class and filed the legislation. I wonder if money's had to be involved, because
oh yeah, definitely.
a lot of times when you file anything like that, it's monies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
God.
And so they actually made a movie about this, and it's called The Last Witch. It's a documentary, and they had interviewed excuse me, LaPierre, and she did give credit to Height. But I think he should have been included in this documentary, not just the kids and this teacher, because he was the one that started this.
Right.
And so it says that they think that it may have been that this lady was just sort of, she got lost in the paperwork.
Yeah. It's fidget toys.
It's fidget toys, but it's noisy fidget toys. And so this one lady that was, her name is...
Sounds like teeth. Like I got a handful of teeth.
Oh, that's not distracting at all. And there was a...
ADHD ASMR.
Legislator called DiZoglio. And that she testified to the state Senate about the case and its importance last May, and declared, quote, "We will never be able to change what happened to victims like Elizabeth, but at the very least we can set the record straight," end quote. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I am just paraphrasing the whole damn thing, because
I mean,
I'm not going to sit here and do this. And it says that in 2017, officials unveiled a semicircular stone wall memorial inscribed with the names of people hanged at the site in Salem known as Proctor's Ledge, and it was funded in part by donations from descendants of those accused of being witches. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the reason that Elizabeth Johnson Jr. was also probably overlooked was that she didn't have family left that were willing to fight for her.
Yeah.
So I think it is actually really pretty cool that this teacher and or teachers and the kids, they got them involved in doing something good. Because that needed to be done. There's a lot of people that have been accused and convicted of things that they did not do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be 300 years later. There's people that need to be fought for today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Teach your children the civics. Teach your children how to go through the process. How to do these things. How to do petitions correctly. Teach them how to do these things correctly.
Yes.
Legally.
Yes.
Going out and firebombing something is not a legal form of protest.
No.
I don't care what CNN says. Mostly peaceful firebombings. But yeah, somebody that was innocent, and that they finally, maybe, you know, whatever side that she crossed to, maybe Elizabeth will know that somebody fought for her and that there was justice done.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
Now, if only there were so... If only we could clear all the names of the innocent that were convicted.
Well, I thought that was interesting.
Punished.
And that included, I can't remember what the gentleman's name was, that I think he was the only male that was accused of practicing witchcraft. And what they did, I had put like a door or something like that on his chest and started piling on these huge stones.
Mm-hmm. And he said, add more.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Because he was not guilty of what they were accusing him of.
And he refused to admit guilt to something he didn't do.
Yep.
So, it's man's inhumanity to man one more time.
Mm-hmm.
So, we made a shorter cup out of that one. Didn't it? It was like, that wasn't 3 pages. There was no point in having that 3 pages.
Right.
So, because we don't have a word count. But it's pretty cool. Kid is remarkably quiet today, and I'm not quite sure why, and it frightens me.
I'm tired.
He needs vitamin D.
I do. I need to start walking.
He really
again.
does.
I need... Oh.
We'll get him a cup of coffee and a biscotti here in a minute.
I got a Monster.
And it's, yeah, not the time of the evening that you need to be drinking a Monster. Then he won't be able to sleep. Then he'll sleep till 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow and go, I feel tired and I don't know why. Well, a little bit of the circadian rhythm there, maybe.
Maybe.
Schedules.
Uh-huh.
If you've had experiences with the paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids.
Aliens.
If you've had family members or you yourself that have been wrongfully accused and or convicted of witchcraft or some kind of fuckery like that, vampirism.
Yes.
Now, if you really did do the vampirism, give me an email about that too. If you got local, regional, or family myths or legends, then you can send us an email to cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And that link will be in the description box. The link to the articles are in the description box also. Sometimes I forget to say that.
Yeah.
I do cite my sources. So if they're wrong, somebody can bitch at somebody else, not me.
Yeah.
Know that you're loved.
And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all. Have a good.
There's a cup of coffee in the kitchen waiting for me, and one of those biscottis is going to go right there beside it.
That's okay, because there's a cigarette with my name on it.
We'll see you in the next cup.
Bye.